So let's dive right into the heart of today's topic, the fascinating world of tea types and their unique characteristics. As you probably know, all tea comes from the same plant, Camellia sinensis. The differences in flavor, aroma, color, and taste are a result of the unique processing steps each type of tea undergoes. First up, we have black tea, which is the most heavily oxidized and produces a hearty, robust flavor. It's an excellent base for stronger blends because it can hold its own against bold ingredients. If you're a fan of chai, for instance, black tea is your go-to. Then we have green tea, which is more lightly processed, preserving its green color and delicate grassy flavor. It's an excellent base for lighter, more subtle blends. You might want to pair green tea with ingredients like jasmine or mint. It's really about what tickles your taste buds. Next is the oolong tea, a semi-oxidized tea with a flavor profile that falls somewhere between black and green tea. It's complex, floral, and often has a hint of creaminess. This tea is excellent for blending because it can harmonize with a wide range of flavors. White tea is the least processed of all tea types. It's delicate and mildly sweet with a subtle complexity. If you're aiming for a blend that's gentle and nuanced, white tea could be the perfect base. And then we have the dark horse of teas, literally. The dark or tea. It's fermented and aged, giving it a unique, earthy flavor that's unlike any other type of tea. It's an acquired taste,
but some tea enthusiasts swear by it.
Lastly, there's yellow tea, a rare and slightly fermented tea that's similar to green tea, but with a longer drying phase. It's known for its sweet, fruity, and floral notes. Remember, the base tea you choose can dramatically influence the final product. So, take some time to explore each type, understand their unique characteristics, and think about what flavors they might pair well with. It's a journey, a fun and exciting one, I assure you.
Now that we have that covered, let's move on to the next step, where we'll discuss various herbs, spices, and other flavorings you can add to your blend.
Stay tuned. Moving on to our next exciting topic, let's talk about the real game changer, the herbs, spices, and other flavorings that you can add to your tea. These ingredients can transform your base tea into something truly unique and personalized. Herbs are a great place to start. Mint is super refreshing and can uplift any tea blend. Chamomile, with its apple-like taste and calming properties, is always a good choice, especially for a nighttime brew. Lavender is a bit more adventurous, adding a floral note and a soothing aroma. And then there's lemongrass, which adds a zany, citrusy note that works beautifully with many teas. Now, let's spice things up a bit, shall we? Spices, like herbs, can add an extra dimension to your blend. Cinnamon adds a warm, sweet, spicy flavor, while cloves bring a unique depth with their intense, sweet, and somewhat bitter taste. Ginger adds a spicy kick and a touch of heat. And cardamom. It's a bit like a two-for-one deal, offering a sweet, floral taste and a spicy, aromatic kick. And then there are other flavorings, like dried fruits, flower petals, and even chocolate. Dried berries, for instance, can add a sweet, fruity note. Rose petals can give a romantic, floral touch. And if you're feeling a bit naughty, a tiny bit of dark chocolate can add a luxurious, indulgent flavor. Now, that's my kind of tea. Remember, the key here is to experiment, mix, and match until you find the combination that's just right for you. And hey, don't forget to have fun while you're at it. After all, that's what blending your own tea is all about. All right, we're now ready to delve into the art of blending, proportioning, and layering to balance flavors and create a harmonious tea experience. Let's keep the momentum going, shall we? All right, now that we've explored the different types of tea and the various flavorings, it's time to dive into the true art of blending. This is where you get to play the role of a tea master, carefully proportioning and layering your chosen ingredients to balance flavors and create a harmonious tea experience. The most important aspect of blending is balance. You don't want one ingredient overpowering the others. Instead, you want to create a blend where each ingredient can shine and contribute to the overall flavor. Think of it as a symphony, where each instrument plays its part to create a beautiful harmony. So, how do you achieve this balance? Well, it's all about proportions. Start with your base tea. This should make up the majority of your blend. Then, chosen herbs, spices, or other flavorings. Remember, these are accent flavors, so they should be used sparingly. A good rule of thumb is to use 3 parts base tea to 1 part flavorings. Layering is another crucial aspect of blending. This is where you build depth and complexity by adding ingredients that offer different flavor notes. For example, you could start with a base of black tea, add some ginger for a spicy note, some dried orange peel for a bit of citrus, and a pinch of clove for a deep, warm undertone. And of course, don't forget to taste as you go. This is the best way to know if your blend is on the right track. If something feels off, don't be afraid to adjust. Blending is a creative process, and sometimes it takes a bit of trial and error to get it just right.
But most importantly, remember to have fun with it.
This is your chance to create something truly unique, something that reflects your personal taste and preferences. So go ahead, let your imagination run wild, and let's create some fantastic tea blends together. Up next, we'll look into the health benefits and potential allergic reactions of certain ingredients. So stick around. We've still got some interesting stuff to cover. Moving right along, let's talk about the health benefits and potential allergic reactions of certain ingredients. Because hey, your tea should not only taste good, but also do good, right? Tea itself is chock full of antioxidants, which are great for fighting off free radicals in your body. Both green and black teas are known for their heart health benefits, while herbal teas can have various medicinal properties depending on the herbs used. For instance, chamomile is known for its calming effect, peppermint can aid in digestion, and ginger is often used to relieve nausea. Now, let's not forget about the spices. Cinnamon is known to have anti-inflammatory properties and can reduce the risk of heart disease, while ginger can also help with inflammation and can lower blood sugar levels. It's almost like your teacup is a mini medicine cabinet. Right. And here's a crucial note. While these ingredients have fantastic health benefits, they can also cause allergic reactions in some people. So, before you start experimenting with different herbs and spices, make sure you're not allergic to them. And if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or have any chronic health conditions, it's always a good idea to consult with a healthcare professional before adding new herbs or spices to your diet. Also, if you're on any medication, don't forget to check for potential interactions with certain herbs or spices. For example, St. John's wort can interfere with the effectiveness of many prescription medications. So, while it's exciting to create your unique tea blends, it's equally important to ensure that they're safe for you to consume. Your health is your wealth, after all. Next, we'll be exploring the process of storing and brewing homemade tea blends to maximize flavor and freshness. Stick around, because we're almost at the finish line, and trust me, it's worth the journey. And here we are, at a final point of discussion. The process of storing and brewing homemade tea blends to maximize flavor and freshness. Because let's face it, the best tea blend in the world won't do you much good if it's not stored correctly or brewed to perfection, right? When it comes to storing your tea blends, the key is to keep them away from light, heat, moisture, and strong odors. A tinted, airtight container in a cool, dry place is your best bet. And oh, don't forget to label your container with the date and the ingredients you used. It'll come in handy when you create that perfect blend and want to replicate it in the future. But now, on to the brewing part. The first rule of thumb is to use fresh, cold, preferably filtered water. Water quality can significantly affect the taste of your tea. Heat the water to the right temperature, depending on your base tea. For instance, green and white teas prefer cooler temperatures, around 170 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit, while black and oolong teas like it a bit hotter, around 200 to 212 degrees. Once your water is at the right temperature, add your tea blend and let it steep. The steeping time would again depend on the type of tea. Black tea usually requires 3 to 5 minutes, while green tea only needs about 2 to 3 minutes. Herbal infusions can take a bit longer, around 5 to 7 minutes. Remember, oversteeping can lead to a bitter taste, so keep an eye on the time. Oh, and be careful not to stir, squeeze, or agitate the leaves as they steep, because this too can extract unwanted bitterness. And there you have it. Your perfectly brewed, homemade tea blend, unique to your taste, and ready for you to savor. Satisfaction on that first sip? There's nothing quite like it, is there? So that's it for today's discussion on DIY tea blends, creating your own unique flavors. I hope you found it helpful and inspiring. Can't wait to hear about your tea blending adventures. Until then, happy blending, folks.